Let's bring in our Fox News political insiders, John LeBoutillier, former Republican congressman for New York, Pat Caddell, a former pollster for President Jimmy Carter and a Fox News contributor, and Doug Schoen, former pollster for President Bill Clinton and a Fox News contributor as well. Pat, I'm going to start with you and your thoughts about what we just saw from President Obama and the state of politics, in his opinion.
Well, first of all, he is now politicized this week. Commencement speeches, which were never really political attack speeches, and bathrooms. So he's having quite an effect. Look, what we're watching is a president who just made a statement that 70% of Americans disagree with over the good old times or better. People who believe the country is in decline. Even Bill Clinton, as John just reminded me, made a comment attacking his legacy of the last 8 years and where he's left us around the world. What he has done, he has managed to get his approval rating up to 51% in the last several months, over 6 months, because he's been out above the fray. He wants to get in the fray. And that was helpful for Democrats.
Why does he want to get in the fray?
Because he's a politician.
And he will hurt their party.
You know, he was elected, Harris, with the promise of unity, of bringing the country together. He even has said that that was his goal, and he said that he hasn't achieved it. But he's one of the chief polarizers, wouldn't work with the Republicans. This is proof positive that we are descending to a new low.
And Pat, before I go to you, John, Pat, what you were saying was that you feel like he hurts the party.
Yes, because he was helping, and one of the most important ingredients, of the one that at least we know, is how an incumbent's approval rating is for his party. It's above 50, their help. He's going to enter this contest, and Trump is going to be all over him, and his rating is coming down. This latest thing on the bathroom thing is another disaster.
The transgender bathrooms in North Carolina.
It's the locker rooms. It's the locker rooms in sports. It's the overreach. I don't know where he thinks he's taking the country.
Isn't it just federal overreach?
Whatever your position, even people who favor it.
So, John, I want to come to you because we started this hour with some video that, you know, we see the mainstream media, and you guys are saying, well, aren't you part of that? We see certain members of the mainstream media really focus on whether or not there's a crack-up within the Republican Party. Take a look at that screen. Those are Bernie versus Hillary supporters. They're disagreeing about the process in their party. It got so heated that police broke it up and cleared the place.
Yeah.
This was Nevada, the Democrat state convention last night.
Well, so I think the theme, really, Harris, tonight is both parties, the whole political process is descending into chaos, where the leadership of the two parties, the establishment that favors Hillary, and now the establishment in the Republican Party, we're going to talk about that, they both are manipulating things and ticking off grassroots people and driving them out of their party. And what is this, May 15th or something? This is going to get worse. It's going to be more chaotic as the weeks go ahead.
So we covered this a little bit earlier with our reporter, Mike Emanuel. We said, you know, Hillary Clinton had said she didn't expect to be spending money on primaries and contests this far into the primary calendar. What is going wrong? What's happening inside your party right now?
Well, our party is dividing the way people anticipated the Republicans would. Look, Hillary's going to get the nomination, but there's a big but. She is unpopular. I have to be honest, as a Clinton supporter. She is getting more unpopular. Her poll numbers against Trump are sinking.
Why?
And Bernie remains strong because he's authentic, an outsider, with a message of change the Democratic left likes.
He is, as I've said all along, both he and Trump have been supping out of the same trough at opposite ends. And they represent the revolt in the country. We're going to see, and remember, Sanders supporters are the future of the Democratic Party. They're the under 45s. They see a system that is seriously rigged, which it is, and it is seriously rigged, and we see a mainstream media that has decided in its support of Hillary Clinton not even to mention Bernie Sanders basically the last 10 days.
Is it conceivable that Sanders supporters, if Hillary is the nominee, could a substantial bit of the Sanders vote end up voting for Trump?
Hard to say. That we already know there's some
suggested that
Sanders says no.
Or they'll say home. But they're not ideal. They hate her.
Well, you're talking about the exit polling that came out of West Virginia.
Yes.
Right? And it showed it showed a very healthy number. You're saying a third.
43%
a healthy
of
number.
Sanders voters are going to vote for Trump.
Some of the polling, the CBS polling showed north of 40% would consider voting for somebody other than Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Well, if there's only one other person that would be Donald Trump, right? Real quickly,
Now, for the moment.
third-party candidate is what's being talked about. And it's so interesting because it really could be from either side. We'll talk about that right after this. Stay close.